Good day, class. How are you today? Now, we are going to have another lesson. Before we start with our lesson for today, I would like you to answer this activity first, which I called the other half. I would like you to ponder on the following questions. Do you believe in heaven? Do you believe in life and death? In order to have this activity, let us have the following passages first, or excerpts that came from the Origin of the World by the Maranaos. It is in heaven where we can find the tree of life. On the leaf of each tree of life, written the name of every person living in the world. As soon as whose name it carries, also dies. Using the graphic A, write what is stated in the excerpt on the left side of the face. And what is your opinion about life and death on the right side of the face? Let us review the following opinion marking signals. In my opinion, I think, it is questionable, I am convinced, I maintain, I prefer, I feel, in my experience, probably, I say, as far as, I pressure, I suppose, I view, I reckon, I figure, to the best of my knowledge, it is belief, I believe, there's no doubt, from my point of view, it seems, if you ask me, I consider, and my faith. Now let us have the difference between opinion and a familiar text. An opinion is a thought or belief, a view or a judgment about something, not necessarily based on fact. You may use opinion marking signals to show your opinion. While familiar texts are previously thought books or passages used as a practice text when students are learning a new skill. Using a familiar text creates an opportunity for students to face in the literary skill without getting hung up on decoding or comprehension. Let's have the examples of opinions that have the same thoughts and have contrasting idea. Let's start with a comparison. Comparison. No act of knowledge, no matter how small, is ever wasted. That's from Aesop. Which means it doesn't matter of who you do a small or big an act of kindness. The important thing is that you do an act of kindness and it is never a waste of time. Next, a liar will not be believed even when he speaks the truth. That's also from Aesop. Which means a person who gains a reputation for being dishonest will not be believed about anything, even the truth. Examples of contrast. Once a wolf, always a wolf. That's from Aesop again. People will always have the tendency to change themselves. And another, he who does not love his own language is worse than an animal and smelly fish. That's famous line is from Dr. Jose Rizal. Contrast to that, those who forget the language have so much love for their country. Have the following activity, which is entitled, Don't Break My Heart. Before we start, I would like you to answer the following questions. What do you know about love? How much are you willing to sacrifice in the name of love? We have different kinds of love. Love for parents, love for our brothers and sisters, love for our friends, and love for the opposite sex. Okay, now I would like you to answer my questions. How much are you willing to sacrifice for a person who is in need, especially at this time of the pandemic? This time of pandemic, many of us experience hardships, struggles, difficulties because of what happened to us. So, example, you have a classmate whose father was displaced from his work. What are you going to sacrifice or what are you going to do in order to help him or her? Or another example, you have a classmate who needs to work in order to help his or her parents, or who was being abused. So, this time of pandemic is the right time for us, a best time for us to show our love, to share, and to help our relatives, parents, or friends, or even our classmates who are in need. So, how much are you willing to sacrifice for them? You may write your answers on your answer sheet. And then I'm going to read them when you return your modules together with your answer sheet. So let's now move to the activity. For this activity, our text that we are going to use comes from the story of Mariang Makiling. And I am very much sure that you discussed this already in your Filipino subject during your grade 7. So the excerpt is like this. But even though Maria and Gatdula could no longer meet physically, their love endured. Maria continued to watch over Gatdula. Unfortunately, Gatdula's inability to see Maria caused him to fall ill and die. Now, I would like you to write your answers on your answer sheet. Okay, write your opinion on the left side of the broken heart about the familiar text, and your own opinion on the right side of the broken heart. And I will read them when you return your modules together with your answer sheet. I would like to see how much you learned about comparing and contrasting your opinion and those that you read by answering the following questions. What I learned today. What is the importance of this lesson to me? And how can I deepen my understanding about the topic? Again, you write your answers on your answer sheet. Now, identify whether the following two opinions are similar or different from each other. Write compare if the opinion have the same thoughts, and write contrasts if they have contrasting opinions. Answer assessment numbers 1 to 5 on your module, page 20. Okay, for your last activity, you try to answer the following. So, the familiar text comes from the story of the grasshopper and the ant. So, here is their conversation. 2. Why bother about winter? Said the grasshopper. We have got enough food at present. So the ant said, I'm storing up food for the winter. Why don't you do the same? Now, for you to answer this activity, you write a short paragraph and limit it from 3 to 5 sentences. And in order to be guided, you try to answer the following questions. Whose opinion you agree with and why? Whose opinion you disagree with and why? And whose character you compare yourself with and why? Try to combine all your answers to form a paragraph. You may use opinion marking signals to justify your point. And again, you may limit your answer to 5 sentences only. For you to be guided on how your work or paragraph will be evaluated or rated, you may refer to the following rubrics. Purpose, 5 points. Organization, 5 points. Style, 5 points. Mechanics, 5 points. For the total of 20 points. Okay, goodbye class, and I hope that you learned something from the lesson today. Thank you and see you next time.